After days of pro-democracy demonstrations, protesters in Hong Kong say they are not going anywhere. They have defied calls to disperse. They're even expanding the ground they hold. It's 10 after 11 at night there now. There's relative calm, but tens of thousands of demonstrators are still packed into an area near the Hong Kong government headquarters. Riot police have been withdrawn, but there's still bitter feeling in the crowd after tear gas was used. Police defend their tactics, saying they're only trying to preserve safety and stability. Students, members of the Occupy movement, and other groups are demanding Beijing reverse a controversial decision. It limits choice in local elections. My next guest is right at the center of those protests near government headquarters. Samuel Chu is a political activist. He was born and raised in Hong Kong. His father is one of the co-founders of Occupy Central. Now, Samuel flew from Los Angeles to be part of the protest. He joins me over the phone from Hong Kong. Samuel, describe for me what's happening right now. It's 10 minutes after 11 at night there.
Hi. So I am right now at the central government complex where the regional launch of the Occupy happened on Friday and Saturday and early Sunday morning. Right now, there is a noticeably much larger crowd than last night who has gathered here in the government complex as well as on the Harcourt Road right outside in Admiralty. And the crowd is actually walking fairly freely. There's a less amount of police compared to last night. The leaders of the student unions and the Occupy Central movement have just made a statement about the fact that they're not leaving. So crowds are clapping and cheering as you might be able to see from some of the live footage.
And tell me why you're not leaving. Tell me why you actually flew from LA to be part of this.
I came here because this is where I was born and this is where I was raised and this is where my family is. And it's important to me because of the person I am today. It's the direct result of the Hong Kong and its people. My father has been at the forefront of the democracy movement here for the last 3 decades and over the years. And so this is where I belong. And I think that that's the way that many and thousands of the people that are out there feels like this is where they belong because this is their home and they want to make the decision for the future of Hong Kong.
I also want to ask you about the mood there. It's probably not celebratory, but is it aggressive? Is there a threat, and are you feeling that violence could break out tonight?
I think that the mood right now is that I think you're seeing a movement and a new generation maturing almost overnight. I think that last night there was real shock and anger at the way that the government treated its own citizens by firing tear gas, by forcefully trying to remove and disperse the crowd. And I think that woke up really the people of Hong Kong and a new generation of people. And I think what you're now experiencing is that a very organized, focused, but still spontaneously, uprising and grassroots movement is springing up all across the city. So I would say that, the mood tonight is much more bold, it's much louder. I think that there's much more of a sense of purpose. And again, because of I think the tension is a little bit less right now because of the lack of the less police presence, and I don't see any police force in riot gear at this moment, at least in this location.
Is there optimism in that mood you described, that change will come because of these actions?
I would say that there is cautious optimism, and I think mainly because of the fact that I think that nobody thinks that this is going to be a simple, easy path. And I think that the demands that are being made are real and they are difficult. And I think that the optimism, though, is that I think something happened and clicked last night with, I think, the people of Hong Kong. I think by watching on their TV sets or being here on the streets or actually watching from where they live down, from the building, from the office or their homes down to the street, I think what happened last night changed and shifted I think, the feeling that something has to change and that they're not going to give up and we're not going to give up until something does.
Final question for you, Samuel. How long are you willing to stay?
I think that I am prepared to be here for as long as necessary. And I think that just from the official statement announcement now, the leaders from the student unions and Occupy Central have said that they are asking everyone, and they believe that they have to be here at least until October 1st, on which day they will make an announcement for the second phase of escalating action going forward. But that the time to negotiate and talk with this government is over because they have lost all trust and credibility by treating its citizens the way that they did last night. And so they're saying that they will be here until the government resigns, a new government is formed, and a proposal for open election is discussed and implemented.
I want to thank you for your time, Samuel. Be safe. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Samuel, too, is a political activist, the son, in fact, of one of the co-founders of Occupy Central, and he spoke with me from Hong Kong.